Well, that was a tough loss. And if you saw my last video, you probably know I needed this win more than you can imagine. But whatever, life goes on. I want to try to do a normal post game today. I'm ready to be back. Now, what I don't want to do this video is I don't want to rag on Tua and say he sucks or say this or that, because then it's just going to lead to a bunch of debate that's irrelevant, right? People are going to say, oh, it's not Tua's fault, it's this guy's fault, it's that guy's fault, right? And that's true. So what I want to do is just say something that I think all Dolphins fans can agree on, which is this team has a lot of problems. I think Tua was fine today, but very clearly there was a lot of Dolphins fans that thought he might be the savior, and that obviously isn't the case. Now, I don't think he was great. I don't think he is a great player in general. I think he's maybe average to a little bit above average, but that doesn't matter because there's a lot of problems today. And I just want to emphasize, Tua was fine today, because there's going to be a lot of Tua stands that say, oh, well, Jonnu Smith dropped the ball and Jalen Waddle dropped another ball and the offensive line has always been bad and Mike McDaniel's an idiot. I agree with all of those things. But that's kind of my point, is that I think everyone is sort of the problem, right? Because you have this offense that can't score no points the last few weeks. You get Tua back today. You're coming out the gates hot. But then when things matter, no one can make a play. When you're up by 2 points and the Cardinals are going on a game-winning drive, no one can make a play, right? And the most frustrating thing about that drive is, as the game-winning Cardinals drive, is as soon as the Cardinals got the ball back, I said, down by 2, 5 minutes to go, they're going to run out the clock and kick a field goal. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a psychic. Everybody that was watching that game knew it was coming. And Mike McDaniel didn't do nothing about it. They got them into a third down on the very first possession. Of course, the Cardinals got it. 17-yard pass to McBride, who was tearing us apart all day. And at that point, I said, just let the Cardinals score. Because the only chance you have of winning this game is getting the ball back. Because we knew you weren't going to stop them. But instead, they keep trying to play prevent defense and prevent defense and prevent defense until eventually the Cardinals were able to do whatever the hell they wanted. Mike McDaniel starts using his timeouts. They get them into a third down. Kyler Murray scrambles for the first down, so now the Dolphins can't stop the clock no more. Which, because the Dolphins couldn't stop Kyler Murray all day. It's kind of what he does. Dolphins aren't a great team at putting pressure on the quarterback anyways. You think they were going to bring down Kyler Murray and his quick legs? No, that wasn't going to happen. You were never going to stop them on a third down. You should have let him score. I know it sounds ridiculous to say, but we all know this team. We know the defense is no good. The only chance they would have had, I honestly think, just putting the ball back into his hands and seeing what he could have did. I'm not saying Mike McDaniel is an idiot, because any sane coach would say play defense, but we know this team. We knew, any Dolphins fans that's been watching this team for a little bit amount of time knows that as soon as the Cardinals got the ball back down to, we knew the Dolphins were not going to get a stop. We all knew it. But instead, they go right down the field with quite literal ease. Eventually, James Conner just running right up the gut on us. And then the game ends exactly like how we all thought. I know Adam Beasley put out a tweet a few minutes before that, giving McDaniel credit, because it was the one challenge that he finally got successful, right? Jonnu Smith was clearly past the first down. They said he wasn't. McDaniel challenged it. But McDaniel is sitting there with the red flag behind his back like he's a magician, like he's hiding something, right? And I'm saying, throw the flag, throw the flag, throw the flag. I saw the replay once. I knew Jonnu Smith had the first down, right? I seen it one time. And Mike McDaniel is so eager to throw these dumbass challenge flags all the time for stuff we know is irrelevant. But he wastes his challenge flags all the time. But this time he don't want to do it. So he waits. Finally, the play clock runs down. He throws the red flag, and of course it gets overturned. And the tweet from Adam Beasley that I'm referencing is, Adam said, that's a smart move by McDaniel to let the clock wind down before throwing the flag. And I said, really? You're trying to run out the clock up to with 6-7 minutes to go? This is not a blowout, Adam Beasley. You need to score, not run the clock out. Running the clock out up to with that much time left is stupid. We all saw immediately it was a first down, throw the flag. And guess what? If Mike McDaniel would have threw the flag right away, there might have been another 20 or 30 seconds on the clock for the Dolphins to get the ball back and go down the field at the end of the game. But no. So as soon as I saw that tweet from Adam Beasley, I thought it was stupid. It ended up coming back to bite them in the butt. And I think the Cardinals coach is dumb too. Earlier, they got a touchdown, and they could have kicked an extra point to make it a 1-point game. They went for 2, didn't get it. Now I said if the Dolphins get a touchdown, it's a 2-possession game. And it was. The Dolphins went right down the field. They got a touchdown to go up 9. And then that was the last time they scored. Anyways, I'll kind of give a quick recap for the game just to refresh y'all memories, or if anyone didn't watch it, and then we'll kind of talk about it a little bit as we go along. So very first drive, of course, Dolphins get the ball to start. Whole place is hyped. Tua's got the place amped. Really, really cool to see. Super glad to see Tua back, and back that he's healthy. They go right down the field, and then for some reason, they run a trick play, a little scoop shovel pass to Julian Hill, the bane of my existence, Mr. Fumbles and Holding McGee. And of course, they run a great play. He almost gets into the end zone and then fumbles. Dolphins fortunately recover. Raheem Mostert punched it in to put the Dolphins up 7-0 off the game-winning drive. But I just can't understand why Julian Hill continues to get on the field. It doesn't make no sense to me. Keep in mind, that was the second fumble already. Third fumble in the first quarter alone, all of which the Dolphins recovered, fortunately. But you can hold on to the ball. And of course, I should have known that was foreshadowing for what would happen later in the game. But we'll get to that. Anyways, the Dolphins do get a couple field goals, and eventually Tyler Murray has a crazy scramble to find a wide open guy in the end zone in the first half. But the first half closes with the Dolphins up 13-17. I'm happy with that. 6-point lead. I'm definitely happy with that. The Cardinals get the ball to start the second half. They'll kick a field goal to make it a 3-point game. But then the Dolphins have a really great drive. First run, Devon Achane goes for like 70 yards. He's really the only Dolphin today that was awesome, that really stood out. And that awesome run would lead to the Dolphins eventually scoring. They did have a 3rd and long after that. That was where Tua had his best play today, right? He scrambled, got the first down, and slid. The places erupted. He's finally learning. I felt so good for him. It really was a great run by Tua, and nice to see him be able to use his legs for once. And then he did hit Devon Achane a couple plays later. Beautiful dot pass. You had Tyreek Hill with a great block, and Achane got in. So Dolphins look really, really good at this point. They get a stop. They get the ball back. They're up by 10 with a chance to really put a lot of pressure on the Cardinals, right? Instead, with the Dolphins backed up around their own 10-yard line, perfect snap, which I know is rare to say because the Dolphins haven't had a center that could snap in years, but this time it was a perfect snap, and Tua could not hold on to the ball. Ball goes right out of his hands, flies into the end zone, then Tua illegally bats it back in the end zone and pushes it out of bounds, which this is how I feel about it. So, 1, you're not allowed to bat a ball intentionally in the end zone. 2, either way, he batted it out of the end zone, so it was a safety either way, right? A lot of Dolphins fans were saying that was smart because obviously a safety, you give the Cardinals 2 points, where if Tua would have just fell on the ball and got tackled, it would have been a touchdown for the Cardinals. But this is the way I look at it. When you give up 2 points on a safety, you're also kicking the ball back to the Cardinals. So if they score a touchdown, they have a potential to make it a 9-point play. In that point, I usually just agree with giving up the touchdown. Because, okay, you give up 7 points, but at least you get the ball back and you have a chance to answer. Because at that point in the game, I believe the Dolphins were up. They were up, I think it was 20-10 at that point. It was 20-10. So if you give up the touchdown, you're still down, you're still up 3, and you have a chance to go match the touchdown, and you're up 10 again. Whereas with the safety, you give up 2 points, 8-point game, they can get a touchdown the very following drive, make it a 1-point game. And that's exactly what happened. So I personally didn't think that was smart either at the time by Tua, just personally. And I'm not even speaking in hindsight, like I said, because Tua would bat the ball out. The Dolphins would now only be up 8 with 6 minutes to go. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. would get a touchdown the following drive. And then that's when the Cardinals stupidly went for 2. So, but obviously it didn't matter, right? But Cardinals were down 2 after that Marvin Harrison Jr. touchdown. And the Dolphins defense just looked pitiful on that defensive possession. The ref called them out for doing a late substitution. They threw a flag, then they picked it up and they said, warning, Dolphins, next time, get your guys on the field on time. Never heard nothing like that in my life. Just shows how dumb the coaching staff of Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver, and the rest of those guys are. But anyways, the Dolphins would answer with a pretty long drive themselves to get Raheem Mostert his second rushing touchdown of the game. So now the Dolphins are up 9 points with 12 minutes to go. Of course, we're feeling very, very good at this point. But then just too easy a drive for the Cardinals. James Conner punches it in, 27-25. Dolphins are moving down the field, but get stopped at midfield. And that's when they give the ball back to the Cardinals down 2 with just a couple minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, and Cardinals go right down the field, game-winning field goal. That's your ball. So I want to look through a little bit of these stats here. Just to give you guys a better idea of the game. I do think Tua got severely outplayed by Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was making plays. Tua Tagovailoa had one nice long pass to Tyreek Hill, and that's about it. There was another one. Tyreek was wide open, streaking down the sideline. Tua threw it maybe 15 yards, too short, nowhere close. I do feel like he missed a bunch of guys, but again, at the same time, his receivers didn't help him out either. So that goes back to there being a lot of problems. But Tua today got you 234 and 1 touchdown. Kyler Murray got you 307 and 2 touchdowns, and he also put 19 rushing yards with that. But there was a lot of great scramble yards that he got just laterally that led to some pretty impressive throws. On the rushing side of things, James Conner got 53 for the Arizona, but Devon Achane was sensational. 97 yards, an average of 9.7 yards per carry. He was really great. And even Mostert was fine today. But Jalen Wright got a couple of nice touches too. There was a nice trick play they ran to him. I would like to see the Dolphins kind of involve more of that in their offense because they have 3 pretty dynamic backs with Wright, Achane, and Mostert. I'd like to see them use it more, right? Wright only had 2 carries today. I really would like to see him get more if they could find a way to sort of work that out. But on the offensive side of things, Tyreek Hill, 72 yards, Jalen Waddle, 45 yards. Those were the 2 guys you really wanted to see have a huge bounce back. And certainly they were better than they were the last 4 games, but that's not saying much. Certainly neither guy really stood out today for you. And on the Cardinals side, Marvin Harrison Jr. just torched you today, 111. Same with Trey McBride, 124. So Dolphins defense was pretty terrible to go along with everyone else outside of Devon Achane. So they got a lot of problems, this team. I don't want to keep repeating the same things every single video. You know this, I know this, so I don't want to put it all on Tua or any other specific person. I just don't think anyone was great today. Maybe the good news is the Dolphins keep losing. They could draft Cam Ward because, y'all know I was at the Hurricanes game yesterday. That's why I didn't have no post game for the Canes or the Miami Heat yesterday. But shout out to both those teams for getting the win. I know Cam Ward didn't stuff the stat sheet yesterday, but FSU's run defense was so terrible that Cam Ward ain't really have to air it out. And I'm cool with that because they blew that ass out. Win's a win. Hurricanes are moved up to number 5 in the country. So, hey, not saying that Cam Ward is a can't-miss NFL prospect, but I'm truthfully just ready to move on from everyone on this team currently, this Dolphins team. I really am. Again, not saying Tua sucks. I personally think he's average, maybe slightly above average. But point is, no one on this team I think is good enough to be a contender, and I think it's finally time they clean house from top to bottom. They've never done that, and they never will, so I'm not getting my hopes up, but he needs to go. Stephen Ross needs to go. Chris Greer needs to go. Quite literally from the top down, they need a full reset because the last few weeks have been nothing short of embarrassing. Really, the last 24 years. Longest playoff win drought in sports currently. So do with that information what you will. That being said, the Miami Heat do got a game tomorrow. I am looking forward to that. They played a little bit better yesterday, so hopefully they get their gears going, are able to make a pretty nice run because it's going to be a fun year for them and the Hurricanes. So at least we got that. The Dolphins have a miracle and turn it around. I'll be right there. I ain't going nowhere. I'm still watching the games. That's what a diehard fan does, so I'll be there. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out, everyone.
Pull up in the city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.